All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to tonight or today or whenever it is that you're going to be watching the recording. We're here tonight for a guided meditation with a cozy talk about knowledge versus wisdom. And so we want to deepen into what is truly wisdom and kind of like take a look at the difference between the two. And what I really want to do to get started is take a couple of breaths, no matter where you are. And even if you've already done it a few times, go ahead and just close your eyes. It is okay to put both hands on your heart to help ground you a little deeper. And take a breath in through your nose. A little pause at the top. And let it go. Again, one more time, breathe in. And hold. Relax your shoulders. Relax your feet. And relax your mind. Let it go. And then gently begin to flutter open the eyes. And you can go ahead and release your hands. All right, so one of the main reasons I really wanted to do this talk is it was coming to me. I really wanted to give a gift to people. Like I said earlier tonight, I've been really fortunate to have great mentors and teachers over the last few years. And this is really the year for me to share more at a depth of deep gratitude that I've been fortunate enough to have. And then if anything that I say or teach or share with you, that it's for the highest good of you and the highest good of everyone around you. So that's really what I want tonight. And when I guide you through this meditation, my hope is that there is some sort of aha, or there's some kind of just a warming peace that comes over you. I mean, sometimes I feel like, as we walk through life, it's so challenging right now, and especially with things that are going on in the world and changes going on with, kids getting older and people retiring, changing jobs, health issues are changing. And so I'm just hoping that this is a blessing for everyone that hears it tonight. And if you're watching it on the recording, that it's truly a blessing and gift from pure love for you. All right, so to start with, I want to talk about knowledge. And so I was explained this a while back. It was explained to me and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And it made a huge shift inside of me where I started realizing that there is a lot of knowledge out there, and I love to soak it up. And being in the fitness and the health and wellness field, anything that I find that helps people with food or, hydration or exercise, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's great. So some of you know, I did like the Women in Hormones course, and I was really keen in on a few things to do intervals, and it was so much knowledge, right? And I'm also, there's so much knowledge around different diets and different things to do to better your health. And what I keep seeing over and over again is people will get all excited and they'll do this thing that the whole world is saying, do this, don't eat carbs, don't eat this, eat that. And it's just freaking crazy. It's a crazy nightmare. And what I realized is that knowledge can be really good, and it's right on. It's got scientific backing and it's worked for some people. But what I feel is the missing link is that it's not backed by personal inner wisdom. And that was key for me. When I ground and I hear things that, okay, yes, the science is this. Oh, yes, we should be doing this. Da 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 da. Why is it that it works for some people and then it doesn't work for others? And so my suspicion, as I worked also in the meditation world and in the deep connected spiritual world, there's a thing that humans are just running around comparing themselves to others and trying to do these rigid, really stringent, strict things with their health. And they're missing the part of tapping into the wisdom of what's right for them. And it takes something, it takes a consciousness and it takes a conscious conversation with others and just bringing it from the back to the front of the head, right? Because when you think about it, you're like, oh yeah, I kind of know that. And we all know that. And when we are doing something that works for us, there's a wisdom to it. And there's an inner drive and source of energy that fuels it because it's deeper than just the ego, the mind, or the I gotta hurry and lose weight, or I gotta hurry and do this. I gotta go empty my cabinets and go buy a whole bunch of supplements. And they said if I buy this product, this is gonna work. And it just doesn't. It just doesn't. I see it over and over again. So one of the things I was going through when I looked at knowledge, I was like, yeah, there's simple things like air to breathe, right? We all know that air, you have to have it. But when you breathe and you do it with wisdom, right? The air that you breathe in can actually calm your nervous system. It can actually soothe your soul, right? So the knowledge, yeah, we all breathe, yeah. Or the wisdom of, yeah, let's slow down, breathe out the mouth, and connect to it on a deeper level. The other thing that I kept thinking about was exercise, right? We all know, like everyone in the world is like, you have to exercise 1 hour a day, 5 days a week, blah, 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 or you're going to suck. You suck. If you don't do it, you suck. You suck. You're no good. So what do people do? They're like, oh my God, science says, all crazy. And they're like, I got to do it every day. Blah, blah, blah. It's not going to be good enough. It's not going to be good enough if I don't do it the way they say. And same thing with exercise, right? We know the knowledge. We know that, we need to move the body, because if we just lay here all day long, one, our bones will get stiff, our ligaments will get stiff. And then actually, if we do too much of that, our muscles will atrophy. And then, we've been given this great human body, but then it doesn't work so well. So wisdom with exercise and movement has to come from a really deep place of knowing what is right for you. Like 5 days a week isn't right for women. Some women, we are already taxed and overstressed. And the more that we add on and we feel bad because we didn't do it or we're not keeping up, it makes craziness in the mental mind. And so tapping in and connecting and checking in and go, oh, you know what? The research is this, and what part of this is right for me based on what I have going on in my life. Some of you have extreme jobs where you work crazy long hours, and there just isn't enough time in the day to squeeze a whole hour in after the whole long day. And then you're draining your energy and it's just not right. But I know that when you tap into that wisdom center, you'll start to clue in and you'll start to go, oh, you know what? Maybe just going for a walk, a 5-minute walk while I'm at work to get out of my chair is going to be way more beneficial than stressing and feeling bad about it because I'm not doing it the way they say. And here's the thing for the ladies. All those studies on the hour-long crap was done for men. And so we now know that for women, the best thing is a 20-minute just strength workout, bust it out. And if you only have 10 minutes, then do 10 minutes. If you have 5 minutes, bust out a bunch of squats and a few push-ups. I put out a little video. You guys may have seen the link. And I'm telling you, you will feel good because you accomplished something, check. And you've moved your body, and you can forget all that other bad feeling that you didn't do the checklist. It kind of wasn't for our bodies anyways, right? Unless you're an athlete and you're training and that's what your main job is, there's ways that we can work around. But if you're an extreme athlete, it's okay to, and you have time, of course, have fun, go do your hour workout, super. But don't feel bad if you have to check in with your wisdom center and reroute and work up to it or change up to it. Okay. The other thing that kept, one more thing that kept coming to me is, that a lot of people have been doing intermittent fasting, and that's one of the things that I'm always saying. There's such good research around it right now. If you can fast, if you're not familiar with it, it's just fasting for 12 hours at a time. So maybe not eating after 7 p.m. and then don't eat until 7 a.m. or whatever your schedule is, giving your body a little bit of a rest, right, from digestion. It takes a lot of energy. So if you're super tired all the time, do a fast. Do a little rest for your gut, your digestive system. It'll help your gut biome, your gut biome. So anyways, again, right, you see all these people, you hear the knowledge, but what I want you to do is check in what's right for you. And for some of you, I know Mitzi is one of them. We've been doing intermittent fasting for a long time, and we've been extending it 16 hours without eating and only eating in an 8-hour window. And then we've also been experimenting with doing a 24-hour just break from food, right? It rests, it gives you a lot of energy. You're not going to die if you don't eat for 24 hours. It's not dangerous.
I got to 3.5 days.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some benefits to just a 24-hour, and it's all good. But again, you'll want to check in with your body and see how it feels. Any questions about the difference between knowledge and wisdom? And how that is inside of you? And have any of you guys really thought about the difference between the two, or is this kind of new information, or is anything coming up for you as you hear me talk about knowledge versus wisdom?
I know that sometimes I'm guilty from shifting when I know and I'm in my wisdom base, and then I switch because of craziness, and I just go back to knowledge, and then I slide. And I'm like, oh, I know this is right. I feel this right. I know they're telling me, my guides are telling me. So it's like, here I am. So for me, it's like a shift, like in a car shift.
Yeah. So those of you that are on screen, Mitzi was talking about how she can feel the difference, right? When she's in wisdom, but there's sometimes a strong pull from the mind that goes, get over here, or somebody may make a comment and then you'll jump over and try to please them because you don't want to hear them nag at you or whatever. Right. So
I find I have external, we talked about this a little bit, external reasons where I might not listen to myself. If I know I need a rest day, or if I know that I need to slow down, I also don't want to let that other person that's expecting me to go on that run with them at 6:15 a.m. And so I don't, even though I know I need to slow down, I don't want to let them down. So I let those external sources drive me when I really should be slowing down and listening to myself.
I think we all can relate to that, right? We can sometimes tap into our wisdom center, and we kind of know, like Stacy was saying, maybe that 6 a.m. that really wasn't the right time for her to go on the run, but she's already made a commitment. And so just kind of watching, and, you may not want to just, not follow through with your commitment, but for a lot of us, we are saying yes to too many things. And we're doing it because we feel bad or we want to make somebody else feel better. And you're not able to give until you're really grounded and solid and you're taking care of yourself. And I always think about the airplane, right? The airplane people, they know, like, you got to put your own mask on first before you help everyone else. And that's sort of what we're reminding ourselves today and tonight. So good share and good things to kind of think about. Where is it that you disregard your wisdom center because you're people pleasing? And how often do you do that? And how often have all of us really been conditioned since birth to do what others tell you to do? And it's just something to think about. And there's nothing wrong. We all do it. It's just basically tonight kind of taking a stance and going, you know what? I actually matter and I have a lot to give, but I got to make sure that it's coming from a really grounded, wise, centered, heart-centered space, which is really challenging to do. I have one example of that. Pepe's always like, we got to go do this. We got to do this. And I'm like, wait, what? Do you want to go there? And yeah, we got to. And it's so much out of obligation. And I'm like, there's no love there. You're only doing this to check it off the list. Anyways, totally guilty. We got to waddle around in that and try to find our way, but just, have fun with it. There's nothing wrong with how you're doing things. We're just bringing things to light so that if we choose to make a different change in our life, that, we kind of know what we're doing. We're not just doing it unconsciously. All right. Any questions or anything coming up before we start to go into our meditation, our guided meditation? Anyone on screen? You guys doing okay? Thumbs up. Yes, thumbs up. All right. So this next meditation that I'm going to guide you through, it was pivotal about 10 years. Actually, it's 13 years. This book was written in 2010. I looked it up and I'm like, oh, that was 13 years ago. Anyways, when I had done this meditation, it was pretty profound for me. I didn't realize I had a wisdom center. I didn't realize I had no relationship with my sacred self. And I was like, what are they talking about? Anyways, it was really cool. And so I'm going to share that with you guys tonight. This book was written by Debbie Ford. Have any of you guys heard of her? She died a few years back. She worked closely with Deepak Chopra, and she wrote this book called The Dark Side of the Light Chasers. And it was just really a fun book. And I haven't read it recently, obviously 13 years ago. And I've highlighted and made all kinds of fun things in it. And I do love this meditation that I'm going to guide you guys through tonight. But she was really pivotal. And I thought the words and the way that she guided it, it allowed me to go in and tap into this thing that they kept saying was the wisdom center. I'm like, I don't know. So my hope is tonight is that when I guide you down there, that there'll be some quiet time for you to contemplate, to be curious, to feel. And if nothing happens, or you're like, I don't know, it didn't work for me, and remember your wisdom center. It's okay. And maybe you just check in and you're like, maybe we just needed a quiet night tonight and nothing wonderful or spectacular or fireworky was going to happen. But you can just trust that something will come in the next few days. So just as you go into it tonight, you're just going to stay open, and you're going to have your journal nearby. If you need to go to the bathroom, now's a good time. If you need to get some water, now's a good time. And then the thing I'm going to ask you to do is get comfortable. So there's room here inside if you guys want to lie down or find a little space over there. You need to maneuver some other way. And if you're at home and on the recording, you can pause this and then get kind of cozy and settled. Again, this is about being cozy. And you'll want to have your journal. It's okay. It's okay to write notes and jot down things that come, because what I've noticed with meditation and grounding, when we're down really deep and we're in our inner stillness, there's insight that comes and we think we're going to remember and we don't. It's just really super hard. It's super hard to remember. So
Michelle will be able to access this link later to read.
Yes.
This
this is going to be recorded for all of you guys that are here live, so you can go back and watch it and hear it anytime. And then those of you who are on Zoom, you'll also get a link. So go ahead and get comfortable, and where you are, you're gonna just start to relax the body, closing the eyes. If you have your phones, you want to turn off phones. I'm going to start with 5 breaths. So go ahead and inhale through the nose, expand the lungs, and exhale slowly, taking your time, and exhale through the mouth. You may find that you yawn or you feel the need to stretch. And that's all normal. Just let yourself do whatever the body intuitively needs to do. You don't have to be still. You want to use your breath to relax your entire body. Focus all your attention on your breath as you continue to deepen into a relaxed state. If your monkey mind needs a place to focus, let it focus and be curious about what does it feel like? What does it look like as the breath comes in? And let the mind focus on what does it feel like in your body when the breath leaves. Longer, slower, deeper breaths. Keep giving yourself permission to drop in. Going into the emptiness. Now imagine yourself walking into an elevator and closing the door. Press one of the buttons in the elevator and go down 7 floors. Imagine you're going down deep into your consciousness. When the door opens, you see a beautiful, sacred garden. Clearly visualize everything about it. Notice the trees or the flowers or the birds. Letting your imagination build the story. What color is the sky? Is it brilliant, clear blue, or is it laced with clouds? Feel the air's temperature and the wind caressing your cheeks. More detail, more vivid detail on how that feels on your skin. How are you dressed? Are you wearing something you love? I want you to imagine yourself at your best, looking your most attractive and feeling beautiful. Go ahead and take off your shoes and feel the earth beneath your feet. Is it grassy or sandy? Is it dry or moist? Is it a pathway of stone or marble under your feet? Are there any waterfalls or statues? Are there any animals? Take a minute to look around in all directions and notice what else is in your garden. Keep breathing those long, slow, nourishing breaths. And then notice that there's a place for you to sit. A comfortable meditation seat. You go ahead and sit down. And in a moment, an aspect of yourself will come into your consciousness. This aspect will be you at your best. It will be the totality of who you are, filled with love and compassion, and with power and strength. This aspect of you is your sacred self. inviting this magnificent being to fully enter into your awareness. Now ask your sacred self to sit down next to you. Take this aspect by the hand and look at it in the eye. Ask if it will be there for you to guide you and protect you this week. Then ask it what you need to do to open your heart and let go of any old emotional toxicity that you've been carrying around. Are you carrying around any burdens that aren't yours to carry? You can ask what you need to do next in your life. Just listen. And maybe you listen more with your heart and not words or head. And maybe you'll get more information as you sleep tonight or in the next few days. As she finishes sharing with you, go ahead and embrace each other and thank him or her for coming to see you, and vow to revisit him or her and your garden often. You're going to gently move from your meditation spot back through your garden, feeling the pathway beneath your feet, taking one last glance at the beautiful colors of your garden, heading towards the elevator. Go ahead and step inside. The doors are closing, and you can push the up button. You've arrived back into your body, back into the room. And the doors are opening. You can start to take some deep breaths. You may feel like you want to wiggle your fingers or your toes. You may feel like you need to rest a little longer, and that's okay. Just take this time to rest. If you feel ready, you're going to grab your journal or your paper. And I want you to write a little bit of detail about what your garden looked like. You may also jot down what your sacred self looked like. You may jot down what your fancy outfit was, if you had one.
Had a couple changes.
And if you had some changes, costume changes.
Sure did. I'm not down yet. I'm not down yet.
And then if there were any whispers or ideas that popped into your head, or even if it's like, I don't know why that's popping into my head, the grocery list, whatever, write it down. It may make sense to you later. And be patient. If nothing is coming, it's okay. Just sit with the calmness. The more that you can write, or even if you draw pictures or doodle, the more information that's going to come. The more wisdom will be expressed through you. We're here for 2 more minutes, so take your time. You have plenty of time. Remember to take care of your body. Keep breathing really deep, expanding your lungs. Journaling and writing is a really powerful way to bring the wisdom of what's inside of you to life. Take a little bit of time right now to begin to wrap it up with your writing, knowing that you can go back to it. You can go back to it after we close our circle tonight. You can go back to it before bed. And if you're complete with writing, you can just rock side to side, or again, hands on the heart, and just drop into gratitude. Dropping into gratitude for carving out this time for yourself, for being open to journey, to explore, to begin a relationship or deepen a relationship with yourself, with spirit, with love. And go ahead and take one big, huge breath in. And on the exhale, you'll start to flutter open the eyes. And bring yourself back to presence. And back into the room. And check to see if your body's still here. And from this really grounded place, I want you to really realize that we are so much more than a bag of bones. We're not just running around in these little physical bodies, but that we're truly, we have mental mind, right? We have a mental mind that kind of reroutes us and gets us a little crazy sometimes. But the mind is also a creative tool that we can use for good, right? The mind. We are also an emotional being. We have emotions. We can feel sadness, we can feel joy, we can feel celebration, excitement, love, hate, all these realms. And so it's really important to also, when we do things, that we include and acknowledge our emotional body. It's the way that we get information if we listen to it, instead of saying, oh, I shouldn't be sad right now. I shouldn't be mad at this. They were da 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 da. If you're mad, you're mad. It's okay. We just need to learn how to work with it so we don't splatter or hurt anyone else with our emotions, but they're good. The other thing I want you to really tap into and kind of just take in and embrace tonight is that you are a spiritual being, whatever that means to you. So just honoring that if you already have a connection to spirit, and then just realizing, yeah, there's something else going on, kind of guiding me, allowing things to align and synchronicities to happen. There's no mistake of why each one of you is here live sitting in my living room tonight. And there's no mistake that you sweet souls on screen are here right now. There's information here that's for you, for your healing, for you to expand your heart and to know that you are an important, loving part of this world that we live in right now. Yeah. So we're going to kind of close up a little bit. What I'd like to do is I'd like to hear from anyone who's willing to share maybe one or two things that happened or you noticed or you were like, that was pretty cool, or anything that you want to share about your experience of going down and kind of meeting and creating that garden and meeting your sacred self.
I felt like it was interesting and that when you you like finding my voice has been a big thing for me, and that when you were like, what's holding you back, what are you holding on to that no longer serves you, I got the worst tickle. I was like, I'm gonna start coughing. So I just thought that was there was probably
Perfect.
something there.
It was perfect, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's I think you're right on. There is something there that you're holding on to.
Yeah.
And maybe you just need to cough it out.
Yeah, maybe. Get rid of it.
I love it. Yeah, big message.
Yeah.
Perfect. Anyone else? Peggy?
I wasn't, I was in the moment getting it, and I could see how like I could need to go deeper. What shocked me was when you brought us back up and the doors opened, and all I wanted to do was put my hand over my ears because it was too loud. And I can't tell you what it was that was too loud, but it was just like,
I wasn't snoring, I promise.
no, you weren't snoring. It was just a sensation of, oh, I just can't take it out there. Which is interesting because meditation's always been a little difficult for me to quiet my mind. But I think maybe it was a sign that that's exactly what I need to do more of.
Yeah, I didn't want to get in the elevator. Yeah, I just wanted to stay there.
Seven levels down, really?
Yeah.
That's pretty deep.
Yeah,
Yeah, tell me more, Lori.
that was it. No, that was really cool. I've never done meditation before, so I don't know, it was really getting out there. I love gardens, and there was just beautiful flowers everywhere in the distance. I mean, I just came from Colorado, but there were just massive snow-peaked mountains and just waterfalls over here. And then I felt, even before he said, what are you wearing? I imagined myself with this flowy white skirt that was just blowing in the wind, and it was crisp and cool, and I felt it on my face, and I felt so gorgeous. At first I didn't have a top on, which was weird. And then all of a sudden you said, what are you wearing? And then I'm like, oh, I'm naked. So I don't know. So then I should have, then I just had this
Mitzi's
tank top on.
got extra wardrobe.
Yeah. And then it was so weird. There was this person, a faceless like man, I thought, because they had pants on white, they're in white too. And walking kind of in the distance, and then maybe that was my person. Yeah, at first I thought it was a man, of course, but that's my issue. Like, of course there's a man there. But then I'm thinking maybe that was my person. So I don't know if that image was there, but I felt a presence there. I don't know, it was really cool.
Super cool. Oh my God. Thank you for sharing. I know it'll be helpful for people to hear. Everyone has different experiences. So I'm just in awe of the vulnerability and the bravery to share what you saw. It's really helpful. Stacy, did you have something?
I did. There were two things that myself was this glowing, almost like completely full of light next to me, and it grabbed my hand and it said, I've got you, girl, got your back. And then when I looked into the pond, there were goldfish in the pond. And the goldfish represent my son. And so he came into this vision when my light itself said, I have the minutes. So that was very emotional.
and I didn't help me. Like the best week I had him there.
So here's the thing. You can go there anytime you want. And he's always, always with you. He's always with you. And you guys can go there. You guys have had the experience. You can listen to the recording again and go there with the guide, with the voice guiding. Or you can just go on your own. Here's the thing. We have such powerful imaginations. And that is how everything in this whole entire world has been created. Everything that we have, every convenience, every car, every computer, every technology is from somebody's mind. Somebody thought, had an idea.
God created it.
And then the energy, right, to put towards it, brought it to life. And it goes both ways. So we can sit in a situation like this, like what Stacy was saying. She had communication and she could see her son who passed away in human form, but he's in spirit world, and she can communicate and she could feel him tonight. And we do have the ability, even if right now you're like, BS, doesn't happen. It may not happen for you because it's blocked, but we can clearly see it happened for her. And I can say for myself too, I've done it many, many a times, these deeper connections. And so it's real for me. And sometimes it just takes practice, and it takes love and a willingness. And sometimes we're just afraid, or we don't make time for it. So I do want to end on time for the recording, but here's the thing. If you have something to share, I so want to hear about it. And I will take all the time tonight after we close the recording for the people that are here live, that if you need to share or you want or have questions, I'm here for you. If you're on the recording, feel free to contact me or write an email or say something that's fresh in your mind right now and get it over to me, and I'll set up a time to chat with you. And if you're on the recording, same thing goes. If you're on the recording and you're watching this, 2 weeks from now or 2 days from now, it's all good. You can contact me at any time. So I just want to thank you all for going at the depth that you did, and that please trust that even if nothing happened or whatever happened for you seemed a little off, don't judge yourself too much about it. Just trust. Just keep writing. Journaling is a wonderful way to get the wisdom of your soul out into the forefront. It's a powerful tool. Journaling is amazing. So if you don't already journal, just realize like, maybe I should check into it, or call me and I'll help you get better at journaling. And maybe I'll have more workshops for journaling to really let you kind of let that information come out through to pen to paper, through art, through music, through dance. Anyway, it can come out a lot of different ways. All right, so I want to stay connected with you, and I want to let you keep knowing what other free events I have coming up, what I'm going to be sharing. I do have this Friday, we're going to be doing the Freedom Fire in my backyard. For anyone who wants to, again, to come out, the fire one will be where I'm going to actually bring in, we're going to go through the elements in the 4 directions. And if you have something to burn, you got an old ugly dress that needs to get out, or you have something that someone gave you that you're ready to burn it up because you're done with them, bring that. If you have journals or anything, bring that. We'll put it in the fire. I'm going to have 2 fires. I'm going to have the lower fire where we can just stand and we'll do our opening of the portals, and I'll help you connect to the elements, earth, fire, air, and earth. And then I'll have the big blazing fire where you're actually gonna, if you really do need to burn stuff, It's more of, there'll be music and there'll be just a time for you to sit and be with fire. Fire is such an element of cleansing. And as we go through this sacred reset, some of you I know are like, what is this sacred reset she's doing next week? I'm preparing myself, and I know some of you are already doing it. I'm kind of preparing for clearing space for new as far as new physical habits, new emotional habits, new spiritual habits. I'll be teaching all of that for 2 weeks. And what it is, you're like, 2 weeks, I can't be with you for 2 weeks. I gotta go to work. I gotta do shit. I got things to do. Here it is. Here's what it is. It's 2 weeks, but the first night is next Wednesday night. It's an hour and a half of us going into Sacred Circle and setting ourselves up for success for the 2 weeks and checking in with your wisdom center. What are you going to choose to do to reset yourself? Then you're going to go home with this cool little PDF journal that I'm creating for you guys. And it's a little page. So every day you kind of like can check in, you can journal. There's like a thought. You'll also get 10-minute videos that you watch like every morning, just real quick, to kind of help give you these little tips and these little spoonfuls of information that I'm going to be helping you integrate as you reset. And you'll reset at your own time. You'll do this for 2 weeks through the videos on your own time. You'll also get 6 just quick 20-minute workouts. Like, you know what? I want to do 10 minutes of abs. Well, go to the 10-minute ab video and grab that out, and you'll have that forever and ever. You can always, it's your go-to. Just stick it in and I'll lead you through some stuff. After the 2 weeks, which I'll be energetically holding, praying, blessing over you, and you'll be hearing me through the recordings. The last night, we're going to come back out to the fire and we're going to have a closing circle. We're going to share. We'll probably share indoors and figure out what happened and help each other kind of grow. We'll learn from each other what happened for you. And then we'll go back out to the fire and celebrate. So this is a really powerful thing to do as we enter. And if it feels overwhelming, like, I don't know, and maybe it's not the right time for you, and that's okay. I'll offer it again, I'm sure, another time. I'm kind of been thinking out loud, like I may offer this every quarter. And then if you've already done it once throughout the year, I'll give it to you at like just like a minimal fee instead of like the, you can just come and repeat it in a deeper way throughout the year, because I think it's so good for us to kind of reset, but have someone holding hands along the way. Too many times people are like, they get all excited and they get their stuff and then nobody's holding their hand. And then after 2 weeks, they're kind of like, well, that sucked. I couldn't do it. I'm terrible. I'm a failure. And you're not. It's just sometimes we need each other. We need support. We need a lot of energy. So lots of opportunities. This Friday night's fire, free, open to everyone, whoever wants to come. So come, and we're going to burn up shit. And then keep an eye out. I may be doing sunrise or sunset walks. I don't know. The rain's coming, so I don't know. But keep an eye out. You can always come to those. They're always free. And they were really amazing. On Saturday, we had a good time together. And then for those of you that want to know more about Sacred Reset, like you're thinking about it, but you're like, I don't know, it sounds kind of scary. Just set up a free consult with me and we can talk about it and see if it's right for you. There's a little application that I have you fill out to see if it's, if you're really ready, or just your logical mind is like, yes. I want to make sure your wisdom center says yes. All right, any questions before we close? Is everyone feeling peaceful, grounded? You guys okay online? Cozy in bed, Leslie? Yes. Karen's got this amazing cozy couch, and my sweet, beautiful niece and her girlfriend. They're on their couch, all cozy too. All right, everyone, bring your prayer hands to heart and just ground your sit bones, straighten your spine, and in your own personal way, just giving thanks to all the souls that showed up here in person, live on Zoom, and giving thanks to all of those that are watching the recording in their own place at their own time, and let them feel the love and light. And we are complete, bowing forward. Namaste. Yay. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.